Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this webinar from Velocity Academy on passing your Anatomy and Physiology exam tips. My name's Andy and I'm going to take you through this slideshow. So what we're going to look at first is we're going to look at different revision tips. What we're going to look at pre-exam, during the actual exam itself, and then post-exam. So when you register with Velocity Academy on one of our programs, you'll get your own login details for our Velocity Virtual Campus. Your tutor will send you these as you enroll. So on our Virtual Velocity Campus, we have a number of different sections for your Anatomy and Physiology exam. As you can see, these range from Anatomy and Physiology, joints in the skeleton, musculoskeletal, and so on. Our videos are very easy to follow with both visual and sound commentary as you go through. You can also pause the video at certain sections. And should you need to, your tutor's on hand to ask any questions about the videos that you've watched. Very easy to access, very easy to navigate around. You should have no troubles there. This is something for all our students to gain access to. At the end of each unit, there's a quiz. Those quiz contains 15 questions, multiple choice questions. What you can do is once you've done the learning, you can go on and just clarify that learning, just ensure that what you've been viewing and listening to is actually sunk in and you've actually learned part of your qualification. Some small hints and tips for the muscles and the bones. Ways to just remember could be through creating some quizzes. It could be via sticky notes. So creating sticky note labels that you can label all the muscles and the bones and stick them to your friends and family. That's a good way of learning. Also, one of the things I like doing is learning muscle facts. So things such as the body has more than 600 muscles in it. The gluteus maximus is the largest muscle in the body. And muscles are attached from bones to tendons. You can also create little words that help you remember. So I like to look at, so the spine, as you can see here, is very detailed. There's 33 vertebrae in the spine, and that can be quite difficult to remember on how many vertebrae there are for each section and what the sections are. My little tip for this is, so you've got the cervical, the thoracic, the lumbar, the sacrum, and the coccyx. Chris Tarrant loves sweet coffee. It's just a way that I've learned a little acronym there just so I can remember the order of those parts of the spine. My next one is the cervical part of the spine has 7 elements. The thoracic has 12. The lumbar has 5. Sacrum 4 and the sacrum 5 and the coccyx 4. The way I remember that is your breakfast at 7, dinner at 12, tea at 5, and then just 5 and 4. It's just one little way that I look to try and remember a little elements of that. You can always ask your tutor as well for further ways to remember those muscles and bones. General revision tips would be to start your revision early. Don't leave your revision right till the last minute. Organise your study time. So create little plans to do it in sort of bite-sized pieces like we do on the campus. You can go through each element there is on there. Make sure you look after yourself during study time. Try not to study too late on a night or too early in the morning. Find your ideal time to be able to contain that information. Varying up your different revision techniques, which is like I've just mentioned in the previous slide. Vary your locations as well. So don't always use sort of your kitchen, your dining room, your bedroom. try moving outside the house, and those different areas will hopefully just help you remember different pieces that you've been learning. Take regular breaks during your revision. So ensure that those breaks are warranted, and to make sure that you gain the necessary output from what you're learning. Know your exam. So this is something to speak to your tutor about. So make sure that you know fully what your exam is going to contain. No, you don't want to be revising things that aren't going to be within that exam. And make sure you know the practical details about your exam. So make sure you know when it starts, how you're going to get onto your online portal, etc. So before the exam, just make sure you'll be sent your details via your tutor at the agreed time for your exam. Make sure you log on to your account and check those details. Make sure you're in an appropriate place to do that exam. Make sure that it's somewhere that's conducive to learning and you can sit and you can concentrate. Ensure that while you're doing it, you can stay hydrated. Give yourself plenty of time. So if your exam's booked for 11 a.m, make sure you're there and ready in plenty of time so you can log on at the allocated time. Ensure that you do your revision, which you can work with your tutor to make sure you're prepared for that, and obviously with the online learning platform that we've got at the virtual campus. And be prepared. So during the exam, just ensure that you read your questions carefully, understand what the question is asking. Answer the questions without looking at the options. So if you can find the answer yourself, that will help to identify the correct option. Then compare your answers, which you've got, with what the options are, and hopefully you will come to the right one. Number 3 is to eliminate any incorrect options. So again, once you've got to that process, have a look through your options and see if there's any there that you know it's definitely not. It'll eliminate one by one. Once you've done that, you can then read the question again and see if there's any other options that you can then eliminate. Number 4 is make sure you answer all the questions. Don't waste time on a question if you don't know it. Skip it and then come back to it later when your brain's just had time to refresh. If you are unsure of each of the options, just try and make an educated guess. You get no marks at all from an incomplete question. So make sure you put an answer in each of the questions. And then manage your time. So manage your time effectively during your exam. Make sure you budget your time and just review your answers at the end. Post-exam, so you will be asked to upload your test on completion. Speak to your tutor once you've done the exam and go through what the exam was like, how you found it. And finally, just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of learning. Enjoy the process of testing yourself. Enjoy the process of being in a situation which is not always the most comfortable. Once you've completed all your qualifications, Velocity Academy do a number of different online courses and face-to-face as well. These are just a few. Speak to your tutor about what you would like to do next. These will always complement what your learning's already completed and will help you in your career to develop and offer a really good service in what you're going to do. That's all from me. Thank you very much for attending. I hope you've really enjoyed this webinar. You can follow Velocity Academy on any one of our social media networks. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop me an email at andrew@velocity-pt.co.uk. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you once again for listening. Please view and subscribe to any of our channels, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much.